Hello guys, let's talk about one of the most important topic of today, and that is about email. So email is one of the most priority thing of any organization. And if we talk about the email usage of today, and that is 376 billions of emails sent and received per day, and that is huge. So what is email? Email or electronic mail is a way of send and receive messages over the internet. And it's like digital version of traditional postal mail, but more faster and more convenient. And to send and receive email, and you need computer network. So if you have computer network inside organizations, so you can send and receive email between your organizations. But to send and receive email to the outside users, so you required internet. So if you talk about the history of email, modern email is founded in 1970s by Ray Tomlinson, and who is computer engineer working on ARPANET, and he has developed the first email system that is capable of sending messages between different computers across network. And one of the thing is he introduced new iconic @ symbol, and that is used to separate username and the domain name in a email address. And if you talk about the evolution of email, the first email Tomlinson has sent and in 1970s, and the content of that email message is the top row of letters on a keyboard, that's QWERTYUIOP. So that is the first content of email. So over the years, so email is and more developed, and in 1980s the email protocols has introduced one of the important protocol is SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol were developed, and also standardized the way of email messages were sent and received across different network. And so let's talk about email protocol later. And the SMTP is one of the most important thing of today's email. And in 1996, the webmail services like Hotmail introduced, and in 2004, and the one of the most usage of email is one of Gmail, and Google is the owner of Gmail, and Gmail introduced in 2004. And so one of the easiest way to access the email and send and receive the email. And in today most the Microsoft O365 is the one of the webmail and the cloud email system, and there are more cloud mail systems available, even G Suite. And today is one of the email usage is one of the huge. And if we talk about the email address overview, and you can see this is one of the example email address, support@cybersky.lk. So you can see there are three portions of this email address. The first portion is this one, and this one is which is actually the first part of email is the user or group, and you can see the @ symbol. So @ symbol is separate the user and the domain name. So you can see in the right side portion is the domain. So domain is content actually the represent the organization's domain name, and then this last part is .lk, that is the top level domain, and we call as a TLD. And the most used top level domain is .com, and there are you can see .biz, .biz, .org. So likewise there are more top level domains available in today's network. And the first portion is very simple, that is represent the user and group and or department of company. And the middle part is @ sign, that is the divider in the email address, and that is actually divided the user and the domain. And so this is introduced by Ray Tomlinson. And the last part is the top domain name, and the Cybersky is represent the organization's domain, and .lk is represent the top level domain. So that is about the email address overview. And the most important thing is how does email work. So in this example, in this diagram, you can see there are two parties, sender and receiver. So these are two different organizations, and you can see the first organization is domain1.com, second organization is domain2.com. And to send and receive email, that means for example, to compose the email, so you need something like computer software, so that is we call as an email client. So using email client, we compose in the email message, and then that email client is connected with their organization's email server, so we call as SMTP server. And the protocol is used between the server and the email client is POP or IMAP. And then between mail servers, that mean this sender mail server and receiver mail servers communication happening in SMTP. So SMTP protocol is used between the email servers communications, email server to email client communication use POP and IMAP, and we'll discuss later. And first of all, if this sender sent to the email to this user at domain2.com, then we are composing the email in the email client program. Then once we send and hit the enter button, then this email will be going to the SMTP server. So SMTP server check the DNS name, domain name system using the DNS server, and it's identifying the DNS record of domain2.com. So we'll discuss this MX record later. So this SMTP is query the DNS record of domain2.com, and it will get the result from DNS server. So once it receive the this result, SMTP send to the domain2's email server. Okay, so in between, so we can have the spam gateway. So spam gateway is something like email filtering systems, and it will filter the good and bad email. So it will block the bad emails, and it will send the good emails to the domain, that means the recipient mail server. So in this case, domain2.com is the recipient email server. So once this domain2 SMTP server receive the email, and it will send to the user inbox. So that's on a domain2 organization, the user can read this email in their email client. So this email client may be on a the webmail client or desktop based client like Simra or any Outlook client. Using that program, he can read the email. That's how the simply of this email works. And so if we talk about finally advantage of email, so like we talk about in this video, the email is communication system. So we use to send in messages between users. And so one of the best advantage of email is speed and efficiency. So email delivers messages almost instantly regardless of the recipient location, and it's highly efficient and way to communicate, especially compared to the traditional email. And another thing is the cost effectiveness. So generally, email is one of the economical communication protocol, and it's actually the virtual thing. And sometimes, so you require to buy email server or email server platform, but it's very cost effective. And the next is convenience and accessibility. So if you talk about, email can be accessed from anywhere in the world with internet. And if you have the internet, so wherever the locations, you can access the email client from that through the internet. So it's more convenient and more actually easy to access. The next point is global reach. So email allow you to communicate with anyone in the world who has email address. So let's say the user in Australia, the other user in any of about India or any of the world. So you can communicate within seconds, within minutes, using the email. So that is the global reach. So if you have the internet, so you can send and receive email of anywhere in the world. So that is the one of the most advantage of email today. The next thing is multimedia support. That means, so you actually not only the text messages you can send to the email, and variety of file types you can attach. You can send attachment like PDFs, any Excel files or Word files likewise. So any document, any images, any audio video files also you can send through the this email. And so if you talk about the next point, documentation and record keeping, and it's actually email provide written record of communications which can be useful for future reference and it's tracking conversations, so you can search the emails and you can store the email for the years to come, and then you can actually refer that for the documentation or record keeping. Next one is the organization management. And organization and management means email services offers features to organize messages into the folders and use labels and provide search capabilities and specific email, and this help users to manage their communication effectively. And the next one is mass communications. That mean the email make it easy to send same message to the multiple recipients simultaneously and concurrently, and that is useful for the announcements and marketing campaigns, newsletters. So in today's business world, the email is one of the first platform and one of the convenient platform. The finally, it's environmental friendly, and it's compared to the traditional emails, it's more environmental friendly, and it's paperless, and it's reduced the need for the paper and physical transportation, and so that is very environmental friendly platform. So these are the things about email. So hope you clear about this one. Thank you very much.